In the 2019-2020 season, Hansi Flick took over Bayern Munich and led them to one of the greatest campaigns in football history. In just a few months, he transformed Bayern into an unstoppable force, capturing an unprecedented treble by winning the Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and the UEFA Champions League. Flick's Bayern combined ruthless pressing, lightning-quick transitions, and clinical finishing, often overwhelming their opponents with intensity and precision. Here's how you can replicate Bayern's tactics under Hansi Flick in FC25. The formation for Hansi Flick's side wasn't really important, it's more about the personnel in the right spaces to execute the attacking play. And you would see Bayern often alternating their structures throughout the course of a game. That could be a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, or even just a 3-4-2-1. The structure of the team was not that important to the manager, as he would rather have his Bayern side rotating into the open spaces and looking to attack those zones, opposed to maintaining their overall structure. So the positioning and the rotations for the side are vital, and that would mean you could see certain players interchanging roles and positions with others. Sometimes Thomas Muller would interchange with Robert Lewandowski, other times you would see Alphonso Davies looking to overlap Koeman and almost play as that out-and-out winger. Now moving on to the team's tactics, and the build-up style for this Bayern Munich side under Hansi Flick should be set to balanced. This team would often look to alternate its attacking style of play, sometimes being able to build out from the back, other times looking to launch long passes forward to get that vertical attacking system moving. Now when they would build out from the back, Manuel Neuer would be in possession and distribute the ball to one of David Alaba or possibly Jerome Boateng. Now the two centre-backs weren't always assisted by the fullbacks. Sometimes Benjamin Pavard would be involved in the deeper build-up phases, whilst other times he could be allowed to push up the field and allow for Thiago as well as Joshua Kimmich to be able to drop deep and help formulate a deep diamond. In these deeper areas on the pitch, they would look to invite the opposition onto them and then play through it effectively, with great passes like David Alaba and Boateng in the backline, joined by the brilliant double pivot that sat just in front of them. It quite easily allowed for Bayern to consistently play through the opposition's press, which then meant that the opposition would sit further back and slightly deeper and allow Bayern to successfully build their attacking structures from deeper zones under no pressure. Now I did mention that the fullbacks were allowed to get forward and high up the field, and this would create successful wide overloads. On the right hand side you would see wide combinations occur between Pavard and Gnabry, and on the left it would be Davies and Koeman. Now specifically on the left flank you would see more of the attacking play occur, as Davies was allowed more freedom to attack down that left hand channel. So this Bayern Munich side often used quick passing sequences to try and break down the opposition's deep blocks. But when the right moments arose and there was space for the attackers to move into, you would often see one of the deeper lying midfielders or possibly one of the centre backs play those vertical passes in behind the opposition's back line, and this would create transition opportunities for the team to execute in. A consistent sequence of play would be a few short passes amongst 3 or 4 players before launching a long ball over the top for one of the running on wingers, or possibly even Lewandowski or maybe Thomas Muller making that run and movement into the open space. For the defensive approach, it should be set too aggressive, as the manager consistently wanted his side to press the opposition high up the field, and they were one of the best teams at pressing that season, often looking to win the ball back near the opposition's goal with 1 or 2 quick passes that would lead to goal scoring opportunities. This team's pressing was just as important to their offensive play as it was to their defense. Because the side were looking to play so high up the field, it would limit the amount of space that the opposition attack would have, therefore looking to suffocate the opposition forwards, win back possession effectively, and restore it back into Bayern's favour. The assertive dominance of this Bayern Munich side when out of possession would often look to disrupt the opposition's build-up play, and therefore it immediately limited the amount of pressure that this Bayern Munich side truly faced, as they were consistently able to outmatch the opposition when it came to their physicality out of possession. Not to mention the amount of pace that the backline had in it. You had David Alaba and Davies, and on the right hand side you had Pavard. Now the only real struggler was Jerome Boateng, but he made up for that with his aerial challenges. So even if the opposition were able to execute a long ball over the top, the lateral speed of Davies and Alaba were able to quickly cover in those zones, win back possession effectively, and create another transition attacking movement with either a long ball over the top or 1 or 2 interchanging passes before moving the ball forward. Now Thomas Muller was a key individual to this Bayern Munich press, as he would often look to join Lewandowski up front, pressurizing the opposition's backline and goalkeeper, often forcing them out wide or maybe even going long, where Bayern could quite easily win back possession. But he was also key to the central pressing, as he was able to assist both Thiago and Kimmich in the central press. And this would obviously help with looking to suffocate the opposition's attacking momentum. Moving on to the individual player roles, and we'll start off at the back with the keeper before making our way all the way up the field to the striker. Now the man between the sticks was Manuel Neuer, and he should be set to a sweeper keeper role with a balanced focus. The German shot stopper was a vital component to this high line aggressive pressing system, as he would always look to sweep up behind the back line. So if the recovery pace of Davies or Alaba wasn't there, you would rely on Manuel Neuer to intercept the play, win back possession, and then rotate it calmly back into one of the back line or deeper midfield players. Neuer under pressure was absolutely immense, as he was always able able to find short passes to one of his teammates. And if those opportunities weren't there, he could deliver a long pass to the front line, at times even releasing one of the attackers into open space, where they could create a quick transition movement. The footballing IQ that Manuel Neuer possesses was a key component in leading this Bayern Munich side to the treble, because if he made any mistakes, the entire structure and team would crumble. But he never did, and that's why they're treble winners. Now, sitting just in front of the German shot stopper was Jerome Boateng as that right-sided centre-back, and then on the left it was David Alaba. Now, both of these players should be set to ball-playing defenders, with the left-sided centre-back being David Alaba set to the build-up focus, whilst the right-hand side should be set to defend. The Austrian centre-back could play slightly further up the field, looking to aid in the aggressive central pressing, whilst also receiving passes and then driving with the ball up the field to help push the opposition back. When doing this, Alaba was fantastic at being able to pick out teammates in the central areas, often delivering line-breaking passes into the midfield or defense-splitting through balls into the attackers. Whereas Jerome Boateng, on the other hand, was brilliant at being able to collect the ball under pressure and laying off passes to his surrounding teammates. Now, when the big German centre-back was given the time and space on the ball, he could quite easily pick out long diagonal switch passes to the flank regions. Now, that could be to Coman or Davies, or onto the other side, one of Pavard or possibly Gnabry, to attack those zones and create those successful wide overloads. As I mentioned earlier in the team tactics segment, the fullbacks were vital to the success of this attacking side, as they would often look to push up the field. But Pavard's role in that system was slightly more reduced compared to Davies, so Pavard should be set to a balanced wingback, allowing him to attack and get forward when the opportunities arise, specifically down the right-hand side, and you will see a lot of combination play occurring between himself and Gnabry, and when he's in the right spaces, he could quite easily deliver crosses or cutback opportunities into the box. Whereas Davies on the opposite flank was consistently looking to get forward and hold the width of the side down the left flank, so he should be set to the role of a balanced attacking wingback. And when he was in these positions, he could quite easily dribble against the opposition, delivering accurate crosses from that left space, or even cutback opportunities into the box for one of Thomas Müller, or maybe Lewandowski making those runs into the attacking zones. But it was always one of Davies or Coman on the touchline looking to be that outlet ball down the left space. And that's just the attacking side of it. The recovery pace and the defensive effort that this back four put in game out, it allowed the side to successfully flourish on the offensive end, as their recovery pace was a key factor in building this team's success through the 2019-2020 season. Whether it was winning aerial duels against the opposition or ground challenges against the speedy wingers, this competent back four were able to do it all. Moving into the central areas, and the heartbeat of the side consisted of both Kimmich as well as Thiago. Now, both of these players will be set to deep-lying playmakers with a build-up focus, as they would look to alternate their attacking roles and movements from time to time. One moment you could see Joshua Kimmich playing slightly further up the field, other moments you could say the same for Thiago, and whilst the one moved up, the other one would sit further back and look to help protect the backline when needed. Or even in the build-up stages, you would see Thiago looking to drop between the centre-backs, receiving passes and then helping assist and build up the play, or in other moments it could have been Joshua Kimmich doing the same role. So these two players will be vital in posing as extra passing options in the deeper zones, whilst also being able to transition up the pitch and help assist in breaking down the lower blocks, or creating those transition opportunities with lofted or through ball passes. For Serge Gnabry that season, he was predominantly the right midfielder, and he should be set to the role of a wide playmaker with an attacking focus, allowing him to drift into the interior zones and join up with Thomas Müller in creating combination plays to successfully help break down the opposition and create goal-scoring opportunities. In these areas, Gnabry was great at being able to play in the half spaces as well as drifting out wide and creating opportunities from the flank. And again, he was aided by the overlapping runs of Benjamin Pavard. So if the opposition decided to double up on the German winger, he would quite easily have an outlet pass or a layoff opportunity into the French fullback. Now, speaking of Thomas Müller, and I did mention how vital he was in the pressing nature of the side, but also on offense, he could look to drop deep and help assist with the build-up phases, looking to bridge the play between the midfield and the rest of the attack, whilst also posing as a goal-scoring threat in the box, either making late runs into those zones or being the main target at the back post. That season, Müller was fantastic at being able to time his runs late, positioning himself around the edge of the area to run into cutback opportunities. Now, I mentioned Manuel Neuer's IQ being one of the key fundamentals that season for the success of this Bayern Munich side, but the same can also be said for Thomas Müller, as his creativity and attacking movements often generated opportunities for his teammates, whether or not he was involved in the attacking play. Onto the left flank, and Kingsley Coman should be set to the role of an inside forward with a balanced focus. And this allows for the left winger to be able to drift into the interior zones, whilst also posing as an attacking threat in the box, making him a valuable outlet when transitioning into the attacking areas, as he would often look to make runs in behind and try and stretch the opposition's backline on a vertical scale. And what this would do is it would generate more space and time on the ball for the key creative players in Thomas Müller, Kimmich, Thiago, and even at times Gnabry down that right side. And with Coman looking to play in the half spaces, you would see some combination play between the striker, the number 10, and of course the left winger. But he wasn't always in the interior zones. He could look to successfully play wide and help create overloads alongside alongside Alphonso Davies, as that connection between the left back and the left midfielder was a great attacking element that this side consistently used. Now, the entire Bayern Munich attacking structure was spearheaded by Robert Lewandowski, at the time the world's best striker, and he should be set to the role of advanced forward with a support focus, as the Polish attacker was always involved in the attacking zones, whether that was looking to hold up the play, link it up effectively, or make those runs into the box himself and put the ball in the back of the net. With the focus being set to support, it will allow for the striker to be able to drop deep and into the midfield when needed, and this could also allow for those Thomas Muller overlaps to occur and for that positional interchange to happen. Of course, Lewandowski was able to move across the entire opposition back line, that way he could help link the play effectively and hold up the ball when needed. This meant that the striker was key to creating overloads down the flanks or through the middle. However, it was his movement that made him so elite, as yes, he could look to hold up the play and link it up very effectively and play through balls into the wingers, but they would look to return the pass back to him in the box where he would look to put it in the back of the net. And time and again, we often saw Bayern Munich make these sort of movements. A ball into Lewandowski that could be a long ball pass or just a short interchange, before he would look to lay it off into one of the wingers or possibly one of the bombing on fullbacks, and then make his movement into the box where he would get on the end of the cross or the cutback opportunity. And that's me just describing his movements in counter-attacking opportunities. When faced up against a low block, Lewandowski wasn't just the striker sitting in the box waiting for the ball to be delivered into him. He was able to also play on the edge of the area, looking to help link the play effectively, sometimes even playing in his teammates for better goal-scoring opportunities, or he could be one of the players who could start an attacking move before directing his run into the central area, receiving the ball back from one of his teammates and placing it in the back of the net. And there you go, people. That is how you can create Hansi Flick's Bayern Munich side from the 2019-2020 treble-winning season. I do hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you don't mind, smashing the like button down below, whilst also subscribing if you like the content on the channel. And if you're not ready to make that sort of a commitment just yet, check out a few other videos, you might enjoy them, and then you can go ahead and make your choice. I've also recently started the Brom Squad Gaming Patreon, where I make videos like this. So if you would be interested in extra content, please be sure to check it out. The link for that will be down below in the description. Of course, it is paid for content, but it's also extra content, so it's something that you would have to decide. And whilst you're there, you will also see the link to the Brom Squad Gaming Discord server. That, of course, will be for free, and I always encourage people who might be interested in real football chats and opinions and debates and all that good stuff to join up with the Discord. It's fantastic. We talk about FC, we talk about real life football, we talk about everything and anything related to the sports. So yes, there's that too. Anyways, until the next time, until the next one, I hope you have a smashing goddamn day, and I'm out of here. Peace.